Like I always recommend, when you guys do calibration, do it flex calibration, which you're gonna go shift. Always press shift when you're gonna use any of these buttons right here. All right, you press shift and then calibration. Now make sure you gotta have it in flex, because when you have a flex calibration, the flex calibration give you the option to swap frequency without calibrated again.
Okay.
All right. That doesn't mean that all the time you're gonna. So if you gotta, since when you're in the process of the testing, sometimes if you see like a weird result, recalibrate it again just in case, because at some point the machine is gonna get to the point that he's gonna ask you for it. You know what I mean? Like right here.
That's why if you calibrate on standard, every time you have to measure a new cable, you have to.
No new cable, and not just a new cable, also a new frequency.
All right.
You know what I mean? So when you do the standard, when you do the standard, when you go calibrate the standard calibration, and you're gonna swap frequency, it's gonna ask you to recalibrate the machine again.
So in flex.
And flex, you can swap the frequency without no problem. So let me give you an example right now. I'm gonna do a start calibration. Now the machine is gonna tell you which port of the load you're gonna put first, always. So you say continue open to install module to RF out port, which is this one, RF out, and then press enter. So open, see open right here. Go to open. And then you press enter. Boom. You wait. Now, continue short to RF out. So, like I say, this is the RF out. He's going to tell you to put it on short. The good thing is the load tell you open, short, you know what I mean? Which one you got to connect. So, you swap it from open to short. And you gotta calibrate the machine, even though it's already calibrated. Calibrate it anyway. So you use it today, you done. Next day,
Calibrate
it again. Yeah.
Okay.
Then enter. And then the last one is gonna be low. Enter. And there you go. See? Calibration is valid. Now you wait. Everything flat at. So you're good. Now, make sure everything looks like that. If you see something weird, recalibrate it again. Alright? You gotta make sure that your first page before you connect anything, you gotta look like that. So let's go measurements. And measurements, you have all the options of testing. You got DTF return loss, and you got cable loss. You got the return loss and VSWR. Over here in the schools, we only use DTF, which is distance to fall, to see the measurement of the cable. How far is the cable? How long is it? You know what I mean? And also, how good are the connectors? He also show you how the connectors are made. You know what I mean? You gotta make sure that all the connectors gotta be high, 30 dB or higher. If you got a 29 to 28 or 27, redo it. That's no bueno. 30 or higher. That's it.
The connector?
The connectors, yeah. So this DTF return loss is gonna tell you how good is the connector, and also the damage, the cable's damaged or not. So let me connect this jumper, for example. And that's another thing. Depends on how far, how long is the cable. It depends on how you're gonna see it here. Sometimes when it's a short cable, the connections are gonna look a little bit funny on it. So there you go. So over here, let me use this a little bit so we can see. Yeah. Okay. So now to see the length of the cable, you gotta go here. Frequency and distance. Always the star it's 0. 0. Because this is your first connection. Always 0. Because you started from 0, and then you wanna see how far is the cable. What is your all the end? So start frequency is 0, and then you go to the stop frequency. So it's where the cable stop, which is with the low at. So right here we got what, like a 2-3 feet jumper.
3 feet.
3 feet jumper. So check the weird thing. It's gonna look weird since it's a short cable. So let me put 3.0, which is 3 feet. So you see how weird it looks? That doesn't mean it's bad. It's because the cable is too short. You know what I mean? It's so short that everything is too close. So let's say this, for example, this is one of your connectors and this is the other one.
Oh, got you.
You know what I mean? And this loop right here, this is
Okay.
that. Is the between the connectors because
Okay.
the cable is too short. I would like to have a longer one. So let me put 100 feet, see it looks. So it's gonna look weird, but technically this is your first connector, right? This one right here, the one in this corner, which also the market is to go whatever you want to see. Like you have the TV, you have 3.27, and you have another. So this cable is 3 feet. So this is your end. This is your load. Marker 1 is gonna be your machine, which is 0, which is this.
All right.
So you gotta put 2 markers. Marker 1 is your connection, your machine, where you at. Now to get the marker 2, you're gonna go here. You see markers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You select and then you put marker 2. Now
Gotcha.
marker 1 is gonna turn green because it's already set up in the spot, right? Marker 2, you're gonna take it to the other connector. Now, between marker 1, from marker 1 to marker 2, you have a 3.64 feet. Okay, so marker 2 is gonna tell you the end of the cable from where you at. So from where you at, you're gonna see how long is your cable all the way to marker 2.
Okay.
So from this one, from marker 1 to marker 2, he's saying that your cable is 3 feet 60, 3 feet and 64. All right, that's the long of the cable. Now you press mark and then you press enter, and that's it. Now you got your 2 markers already done, good to go. Now sometimes you probably gonna have spikes between those connectors. That means that your cable is bad. If you have a marker here, let's imagine, okay, this is your first connector and the other connector is over here. And between these 2 points over here in the middle, you see spikes like this, like these small ones right here, about over 40, 30s dB and all that. That means the cable is kinked, it's damaged. So you have to replace the cable, no matter what. Now, if you have a spike like this one, like the third one, which that's small, you're good. The cable, it might still work.
All right.
Okay? Now, always also, you press marker to peak. Marker to peak, you got our measurements to see the frequency inside the cable. You know what I mean? To see how the signal is going through that cable, right? So, right now we're doing low band, which is
What is the
698.
What is
which is
the limit?
the limit of the low band? Go shift, press 6, which is limit, and it's right here. Sometimes if it doesn't show, turn it off or turn it back on. Okay? If you don't see it, turn it off and turn it back on. Now, when you turn it back on, it's gonna change it to 7.5. That's not it. You gotta go 9.3. That's your limit line for low band. okay?
We are testing in low band.
And
right?
yeah, low band. But also they require do high band. They want us to do high band just in case for future. Even though what we're doing is low band only, but for future anything change, you know what I mean? We gotta make sure also the high band, it looks good. We have an issue with the high band, and you'll be witness with me, de que no pasa, ¿me entiendes? El high band es too hard para que pase. A eso es lo que utilizamos el generator, ya. Pero tienes que asegurarte que el que tú utilices
Sea de 10.
sea de 6.
De 6.
6. Which is este 10.
Yo tengo aquí, si quieres.
6. A 6. Okay? So, lo que dice attenuation T6.
Okay.
So, ese es el perfecto para el high. ¿Me entiendes? Yo sé que you reach and low no quiere pasar. Y está fading por una tontería. You put this, esto te va a dar 60 dB.
¿Cómo cambia la frecuencia? ¿Cuál sería la frecuencia ahí para high band?
Para high band, siempre que tú vayas a cambiar frecuencia, tú tienes que ir a measurements y asegurarte que estás en return loss. Porque acuérdate, como te dije, DTF es distance to fall, para ver la distancia. Aquí tú tienes frecuencia, aquí te dice frequency and distance. So, cuando estás en return loss, tú apretas aquí y te va a decir start frequency o stop frequency. Right?
Okay.
Cuando estás en DTF, te va a decir start distance, stop distance. So, siempre que vayas a cambiar la frecuencia, asegúrate que tienes que ir a measurements, return loss, y ahí viene start frequency. Mira lo que dice. Que vas a tener que, recalibrate la calibración se va a perder al hacer el cambio de frecuencia. So, tú apretas enter, vas a cambiar.
Mi frecuencia en low.
En low band,
En low band, ¿cuáles son mis frecuencias?
698. I noticed that you put 680, pero es 698. Enter.
Y,
to 960.
okay.
Right here, 960. Enter. So ahora ve lo que me está pidiendo. He's asking me for calibration.
Let me see.
Porque we do it in standard calibration. Now, si hacemos lo que yo le
Supone
dije.
que sea 698 to 960.
Yeah. So now we go shift calibration, right?
Calidad.
Go to flex calibrate, which is way better. Let's calibrate that.
Ese capture. Hacemos screenshot.
Yo voy a sacar unas copias ahora, before you guys leave, con todo, tú sabes, detallado y todo bien nice. Open. Same process all the time. Every time you're gonna calibrate, it's the same process. Open, short, and low. Esos son los tres. Open, short,
Pero
and
si
low.
lo hacemos en flex, no hay que
No,
hacerlo.
en flex no. Si lo haces en flex, aguárdate, como te dije, the next day,
Hay que hacerlo.
hazlo como quieras, ¿me entiendes? Porque la máquina a veces por la temperatura, temperature of the machine, ¿me entiendes? Hay a veces que estás en un lugar que es super hot y la máquina se sobrecalienta y de momento tú estás en un proceso de testing y tumba sola. She stopped doing what she's doing and she required you to recalibrate it again.
Siempre en return loss se cambia.
All the time. Tómanos unos tips, ya que ustedes están haciendo segment test, which is para decir los cables. Y después vamos a acomodarnos. We're going to try to set up something out here con antennas, splitters and all that, so we can go through a system, ¿me entiendes? But right now, what they're, recording,
Segment.
they're asking you guys to do segment, ¿me entiendes? And then, on the process of that, va a coger una esquinita aquí from the warehouse and build something con antennas, splitters, so, para entonces irnos con el system.
So that means if we were doing a segment, so we do the calibration in flex, and we don't have to.
Y yo no, sí, siempre eso, siempre.
And this is the same with the spectrum analyzer and the computer. Same.
What, on the computer? Computer is the same process.
The same.
Lo mismo.
You're using the computer, right?
Yeah.
No, it's the
No,
same.
he's using that. I'm gonna try to get what to say, the tablets. Yo hablé con Yo. I spoke to Yo about the tablet, so we're gonna work on that. See, so we can avoid use the gear one.
Es que eso le gasta la batería a las millas.
No,
Y tiene que
es,
estar con la extensión y tal.
es a lot of process
Eso
cuando
es-
vas con el laptop. Un proceso, un comfortable y un safety too.
Sí.
You gotta go up on the ladder with a laptop. You know what I mean? And it's not good at all. All right, so
Ya lo
we
pusiste en
already-
high.
yo, no, check it out. I just put it the correct low band frequency. Puse el correcto frequency, que era 698 a 960. Ahora mira cuando yo lo cambio a high band. Al hacerlo en el flex, vamos a frequency. Check it out. You see, ahora mismo I press it already and it doesn't tell me nothing about calibration. 1700. 2710 100. You see, he doesn't ask you. He didn't ask for calibration. So I recommend you guys make sure just when you do the calibrate, you do here what type of calibration.
Flex
Always go self cal. Yeah, flex always. Now limit line for high band, it's 14.3. You see, for a little tiny bit.
That's why you use. That's why
24.3,
you
right?
use the
No.
attenuator.
That one is what? Let me see. 20 what?
14. El limit line,
Sí, es
the 14.
en system
It's
limit.
on segment, yeah, on system.
Pero en segment,
And segment
24.3.
for both frequency, 24 and segment.
Está todito.
It's not different.
Esto es
It's
chulería.
not different. ¿Eso fue que yo te mandé a ti?
Sí, papi, yo, ese
Hace
yo siempre
tiempo.
lo tengo, papi, ese ir ahí. Ahí donde yo seteo.
This is gonna give you a 6 dB line. You see the line up here? So when you put this, you add in 6 dB already on the machine. So you see how the line drop? You already got 6 dB added. Now, when you put the cable, since you already got the 6
¿Qué
dB,
pasa? Right.
I mean, right, so.
Sí.
Entiende? But just on high band, because high band is really, is hard. It's difficult to make unless you got a small system. When it's a system which have like three, 4 antennas, you might have the possibility to make, to see it pass. Now when we got 8, 10, 12 antennas in one building, it's really, really hard to make that pass on the high band. Because in the other day, what we're working on is on the low band frequency anyway, not on the high band frequency. Now, if we should be working on the high band frequency, and if it's not passing, that's a problem.
When we do segment, do we have to make both high and low band?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Return
But
loss,
in segment,
and low, return loss, and,
Yeah, and
and
return loss
DTF,
and
and
DTF.
then in high, return loss,
and DTF, yeah.
and DTF.
Yeah. So segment, you should have no problem at all doing high and low band, all DTF or return loss, the system, whatever. And segment.
It's when you do systems.
When you put everything, connect everything together, that's when you really see what really is going on. Because your cable could be good, everything could, the connectors will be fine, but probably you have a bad jumper, bad antenna, the wrong splitter, backwards, connected backwards, you know what I mean? That's when you don't really, that's where you actually see the big problem, on the system.
No fue la gorra, está allá.
Oh. So check this out. So now, that's another thing. When you do frequency, return loss, you gotta go to market which is the last one on the bottom, and always get market to peak. Market to peak, because they want it that's to see the peak, the highest peak on your test. And you don't have to look it by yourself. All you gotta do is market to peak, and the machine will find it. Yeah, alone. Mm-hmm. So you got that, you press enter. Now check it out. Check it out. The real limit of the segment. Let's see, limit right here, which is 24.3. And he's still not passing, obviously, because this is a jumper. There gotta be a different setup for this. But this is where you need to be for the segment. So your cable need to be below that, below the 24.3 when you do a segment. So you gotta make sure that your coax cable is, when you do return loss, is below this gray line. If it's above, go to measurement, go to DTF, so you can take a look again at the cable and make sure if it's good or not. You know what I'm saying? So if you see any spike between the connectors, right? When you have one spike of the connector here and one, like this, you see how now it get better. So this is one connector and this is the other one. This one right here is my low side. The one close to the towards me. Mm-hmm. This is your cable. It's your fake cable. Now between them, you gotta make sure it's flat. If you see any spike between those connectors, that's a kink.
A kink, okay.
Yeah. So what you do, you go to market, right? And you move your market 2, right? From your low side, you move it forward and put it on top of that on top of that spike. So you can see where exactly the location of that spike.
Okay.
So he would tell you, okay, the cable is 150 feet, right? And the spike is in 100 feet. So when you move the market 2, right, to that spike, from you to that spike, you got 100 feet. So that's tell you that your kink is actually in somewhere in those 100 feet on the cable. All the 50 feet is good, but your spike is right there. So you go over there, you take a look. If it's something that you can work it out, massage it, and get it fixed, fine.
If you have to replace,
bad, you gotta replace it. Mm-hmm. Rebrand the cable. And I know most of the time depends on the route. Some routes are a big problem, roughing cable by themselves. You know what I mean? Then you don't have too much help, because sometimes you need somebody on the bend, somebody over here. You know what I mean, to make sure it don't get kink. But that's pretty much at it. Now, another thing I wanted to show you guys, that when you finish and mark everything, when you have everything set up, all you need, just go over here. You see the hard disk on top?
Just don't want you guys to get sick. Spread out a little bit.
Oh, appreciate it.
That's all right. We all do it. It's just can't afford any of you guys being gone.
Yeah, I appreciate it, boss.
You're really crucial.
Thank you. So check this out. So now we here on the files, right? Mm-hmm. You want to create, every time you do on a job site, you want to create your own file for that job site.
Okay.
Always. So you go over here, you see change screen name, which is this on the bottom. I can set up later on. I'm gonna set up and just set and put them like DTF high, DTF low, return low high, return low. So easier for you guys for the labeling. Now you want to create your own file, so you go to change save location.
Okay.
Right there, boom. Over here, you see, it tell you create folder, set location, refresh duration. So you want to create your own file for your school. You're gonna go create folder, and you're gonna put the name
of your school.
Yeah. So you're in Lakeview. So you go over here, And you just copy the letter. And then you put lake. The A with the A. There you go. Lake view.
Missing E.
Pusiste una V.
Oh, de la caja.
Missing
Lake. Okay.
No. No. I-E. I-E-W.
There you go. Lake view. All right. Enter. Now, it's gonna go back to the first page where all the folders are. You select the one that you create, and you go right here, set location. So it's to set it up. That's the location that you want. So now, everything that you save
Is in that
is gonna
folder.
go straight to that folder. He tell you right here, location internal memorial Lakeview.
All right.
Okay. Now remember, when you turn off the machine and turn it back on, it's not gonna stay the same.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that you gotta create the folder again. No, all you gotta do is just change save location and just select it again and put set. That's it, because you already created.
How do you get in that screen again?
And to the to the saving screen, right here, Bobby.
Oh, okay.
That
Okay.
one. Or if you want to see the result that you already saved, you go Shift and File. Now there you go. Go recall
measurement.
measurements or just recall, and these are the files that you had. You see?
Gotcha.
Everything. Now make sure you don't save it in setup. Make sure you can do it in data or VNA. It don't matter either way. Just make sure you got measurement in data or measurement in VNA. Don't save it in setup and or in all. Make sure one of those two. You should be fine.
Date or BNA?
Yep. Data or yep. So now another thing. You're gonna delete.